Sandra from Deadline. We've got some great guests. I think you know that. Let's start with the director, producer, and writer. His movie Animal Kingdom won the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance, and his 2014 movie Rover with Robert Pattinson world premiere at Cannes. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Michaux. She's a two-time Primetime Emmy nominee in the Supporting Actress category for The White Lotus and a show you've never heard of called Euphoria. She just won the Achievement in Acting Award for Christy here at the Hamptons Film Festival. Her feature credits include Anyone But You and Immaculate. She's the producer and star of Christy. Get on your feet for Sydney Sweeney. So let's talk about
How come you didn't make everyone stand up?
I meant to. I meant to.
Don't stand up, don't worry.
Let's talk about that climax. I mean, well, first of all,
You want to go straight there?
what?
You want to go straight there?
Yeah, I got it. I have to because when I saw it, it's like I thought this is it. She's dead. There's no way out. But talk about that as far as shooting it. Let's start with how many days that took, or how long it took, and then emotionally, where we're just going there.
We had to, it was really challenging that, partly because we shot all of it, the attack and then the escape out and the pickup, and then all that in one day, which was tough. But more tough than that was that we had to, for scheduling reasons that I'll never understand, we had to shoot it all in the first few days of the shoot. And it's one of those things that you hear and then you go, oh God, this can't happen, surely there's a way out of this, and then choose to lean into the challenge of it, see the advantages of doing that with it. We could get it off the schedule, just because it would be looming over us for the whole shoot. We'd be waiting for that scene to come. And I think it was really good for everyone, cast, crew, everyone, to shoot it early, just so everyone knew where we were headed. This was the life that Christy lived. This unbelievably challenging, harrowing life that she lived led to this almost unimaginable event.
Yeah.
And she survived it, and it was kind of great. Christy turned up to set on the first day of week 2. We kept her away from that. We shot all the nasty stuff in the first week. Christy, the real Christy, turned up first day of week 2, and the whole second she walked on set, the whole crew just kind of stood there and applauded for 10 minutes. I think because they'd seen what she endured.
Yeah.
So I think it turned out to be a good thing that we did it in the first week.
And then getting there, Sydney, especially in the beginning of it, is this, I gotta think that's the toughest thing you've ever shot in your life.
Yeah, but I also had an amazing cast around me. Like, Ben is unbelievable. He's so talented, so when you go and do scenes like that, you fully feel safe to be able to go to really intense places. And David had a very clear vision of how he wanted to shoot everything and how we were going to communicate the violence to the audience. And so there was never like, oh, what are we doing? How are we gonna shoot this? Like, we always all had a very clear path. And that's when you know you're gonna have a great team. And the crew, like David said, I think think after they saw that first week and everything that Christy went through, the appreciation of the project that they were working on grew immensely, and they all wanted to give 120% to the project. Like, they truly love Christy, and they were like, this is an important story to tell.
Tell us about your prep. That's all I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna give any clues or hints. I want you to,
So I had about 2.5 months, 3 months to train, and I worked out every day. I did an hour of weight training, and then 2 to 3 hours of boxing, and then an hour of weight training, and I gained 35 pounds for it. Congratulations.
Was that all muscle?
No, it was weight. What was interesting was it wasn't like, I love Christy to death, but it wasn't like she ripped. And she was just stocky.
And then you built a gym.
I did. Okay, so I went to my grandma's, and she had a shed, and I cleared it out, and I turned it into my Rocky gym. And I put a floor ring, and I hung some heavy bags, and I brought my trainers out to Idaho, and we worked out every day.
And then, tell me about you meeting Christy. Like, sometimes each actor is different, in the sense of when you're playing someone who's actually alive. Sometimes the actors, they just want to go with the script, and sometimes it helps their performance to actually meet the person. But I have to think she was there. You had.
Oh, she was there all the time.
Yeah.
I was really nervous to meet her to begin with, because there are multiple layers. You never know what you're gonna get. Is she happy with this whole Hollywood process? Is she going to like me? Like, what does she think? But within 5 minutes of being around her, I never wanted her to not be there. She was the best person in my corner. And on the acting side, it's really interesting playing a real person when they're still alive, because the person they are today is not who I'm playing in the movie. It's years and years before. So their idea of who they used to be might be different than how other people might remember them or how it actually went down. There's always the truth, there's you, me, and what the actual truth is. So it was having to figure out what was her essence that has carried throughout her entire life, and how all of these moments in her life created the person I see today. And it was like breaking down who she was. It's like a puzzle piece.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that, because we were in New York last week, and Christy took us to this amazing bar called Jimmy's Corner.
It was like a boxing bar?
Just like a really old school, dirty, little tiny bar.
Boxing memorabilia, like all on the walls.
And it's just around the corner from Madison Square Garden. It's where everyone wants to go before when there's a big fight on, and it was so great. Anyway, we were sitting there, and I was a couple of drinks in, and I was saying to Christy, one thing I really love about you is that you're just no bullshit at all. And she said, hey, you should have met me 20 years ago. I was all bullshit. And I was like, I kind of should have known that.
Being in an abusive relationship, it can be, it's hard. It's sometimes hard for people to leave. But did she ever convey why she stuck around? Why she stuck in for so long? Was she afraid that had she left him, like she was tethered to him, and her success was tethered to him, and that was that?
Understanding this stuff was the reason why I wanted to make the movie. I didn't necessarily, I don't think that I would have thought that the world needed my version of a boxing movie, except for the fact this one felt very different to me, because I wanted to understand how those relationships function. How does a woman that powerful, that strong, get trapped in a relationship like that for 20 years? And I did a lot of research into coercive control and how they work, and you realize that they're a kind of abuse, but they're more a kind of there are lots of women around the world who are trapped in these relationships who never present to an emergency room, who don't even suffer physical violence, let alone the violence that Christy suffered. They're just trapped in these relationships that are around control of friendship, isolation from friendship and family, financial control, a very particular kind of mind gamery that's about making that person feel like they will be lost without them. A whole range of different things. Really, it was really terrifying when I started researching this, because I started researching realizing that it almost always plays out the same way, and all of those things were fully present in Christy's story. So yeah, it's kind of, and I think Christy will say the same thing. It's almost not until you're out of that relationship that you understand that you were trapped in it. You kind of can't see the exit signs.
Did you talk with her?
We talked, about her entire life, and there was a lot of conversations regarding the dynamic that she had with Jim. But like David said, it's sometimes it's more of a mental trap and mental abuse than physical, and it becomes, once you try to get out, it's too late.
Did he leave her? Did he really mess? I mean, we get a sense of that, but was she financially upside down because he left her that way?
Yeah, she was. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. They made a lot of money at the peak of her career, and
Right.
it was basically all gone by the time of the attack. And she didn't realize that was happening. There's a couple of tiny things where we just screw a tiny bit with timeline stuff, just, stuff you need to notice. For the most part, the movie hews really closely to what actually happened. It felt important, especially because, as you say, that attack at the end, it's unimaginable that she survived that.
Yeah.
And so we were quite very forensic in how there's a lot of, obviously it went to trial, there's a lot of documentary material around how that attack unfolded, tried to keep it as true to what happened as possible.
So, you're a producer on this. How did this all come together? I know there was a set of producers who had access to her life rights, and then tell us about how both of you came to the project.
I was first, so
I was second.
One of those producers, it's a little, anyway. I had pitched, I knew that her life rights were floating around. My producing partner, Brad Zimmerman, came to me and said, would you be interested in telling the Christy Martin story? I said, I don't know who Christy Martin is. He pointed me in the direction of Laura Brunson's documentary on Netflix, which is really good. If anyone here hasn't seen it, now that you've seen the movie, you should go and have a look, because it's a really great documentary. And Christy kind of, I think she liked me, but she ended up going with anonymous content instead, maybe because it's a big name. And this is the most boring story in the world, I'm sorry. Anyway, she went, and I knew Kerry Roberts, the producer of Anonymous, and she just called me straight up and said, okay, do you want to do it with me? And then my partner, Mira Folks, and I wrote a script and went down that road the whole time having no idea who was going to play Christy. It was just like, I don't know who this is. It can be scary doing that. If you start writing a thing, you know it's going to be challenging to make, expensive to make. You know you're going to need someone of stature, of status to play that character, and you don't know who, you just can't even think of a person. It can be a little scary, and then write at exactly the right time. Someone said to me two things you should watch Sydney Sweeney in this movie called Reality on HBO. I did that. I went, holy mackerel, her performance is amazing in that film. I had no questions about her acting ability. And then someone else said, you know, that she trained as a MMA fighter from 12 to 19.
Wow.
So I knew she'd be prepared for the work that would be required of her. And then we sent it to her, and she responded really quickly.
You trained as an Wow.
I grew up with kickbox growing up.
Wow.
And it was really cool. I have a friend screening in the theater next door, and my senseis are in there.
Did you actually do like
Tournaments and everything.
serious
Yeah,
fights?
I was the only girl.
Wow. Did you like how I'm sorry, how I'm geeking out now. How badly did you get hurt?
I never got crazy hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My son did like Muay Thai for like a few months and then he quit because he was like, something happens to my Achilles heel, it's over.
My mom wouldn't let me quit.
What do you love about producing and what made you want to be a producer?
Well, for Christy, to be specific, when I first started, I was like, David, I was so surprised that I didn't know who Christy Martin was. Like, this woman is absolutely incredible, and how is she not known by everybody? Because she's going to save lives. And I read it on a plane ride. My agent was like 2 rows down. I'd go back, and Jen, get me on a call with David right now. I landed, got on a Zoom with David, and I begged to be able to be a part of this. I said that I'll completely lose myself for it. I'll give it my all. And he was silly enough to believe me. And then we had no financing, Blacker wasn't involved yet, so we put it together, we took it out, and I had worked with Teddy before on Immaculate that I produced to finance that. Thank you. And they came on board, and that's kind of how we now have Christy here.
The actor that plays Don King, he steals it. That's pretty amazing. Tell me how that happened.
Auditions, I mean, Chad Coleman is really great. He played Cody on The Wire.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's a fine line to tread. He is a kind of levity in the movie, much needed. He's Don King, so he kind of is a caricature of a human being in a way, he knows it. And yet, you need to make sure you want to let it be entertaining, but also keep it real. And his audition was just,
I love the moment where he's handing you the contract, and then Jim's reaching for it, and he goes like that away from Jim towards it. It's phenomenal. Great stuff. Christy! While we all exit, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Could I just take one step? I don't need to be in it. Let me just say hi. Thank you.
Bye guys, thank you.
Thank you.